Okay, here we are, back again. Got the one and only Bow DankFather and your boy Master Bruce CB here with the special guest.
Yeah, you already know it. RetroDaCeo, man.
So we had some stuff in the works. It was getting too hot. We had to go ahead and bring him on the show. So we're glad to have him. Many more. Let's get right to it. So last time we made a promise that we were going to start talking with the Memphis Grizzlies versus the Golden State Warriors. So after the devastating 39-point loss, the Golden State Warriors came back at home and took care of business. Game 6, Klay came to play. You know, last 4 Game 6s, the game that Klay Thompson has had has been stellar. He showed that clutch gene. What are your thoughts?
Man, 30 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 11 for 22 shooting, 8 for 14 from 3. Game 6 Klay is real. Know what I mean? He's the real deal, man. That's like one of the big, craziest myths in the NBA, man. Game 6 Klay. I could remember what he did against the Thunder in 2016.
Yeah, that was the first time we really saw it, because they're just to think if he doesn't come out to play in that series, who knows what the Golden State Warriors become? Who knows if they ever get to the dynasty? And who knows if Kevin Durant, if they win that series, goes to the finals, he probably doesn't leave. So there's a lot of domino effect to that. To that game.
I'm a little torn on this one though, because you know what I'm saying, Ja Morant went down early, so we didn't really get to see the full matchup. You know what I'm saying? But they'll be back, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, Memphis, they were the number 2 seed in the West. So, like, you know what I'm saying? That alone shows you. And Ja Morant didn't play that whole season. Like, he was hurt. So that Memphis team, that's why they was able to blow the Warriors out that time and embarrass them after they said whoop that chick. And guess what they did? They whooped that chick. You know what I'm saying? So, like, right now, the Warriors, they would have been in trouble. Like, Game 7, I think, like how they did at the end of Game 6, they would have came back and won it. But if Ja Morant wasn't hurt, they would have for sure took him to Game 7. They almost took him to Game 7.
No, for sure. Without him.
Yeah.
Without him. See, and what we were talking about last time, they're a team. It's good to see a young team. Who's their coach again? Taylor Jenkins?
Taylor Jenkins.
The way he's able to, galvanize that team and get them playing together like that is very impressive. Tyrus Jones, basically the oldest guy that's really, playing significant.
Tyrus Jones is the oldest player on the team?
Well, no, I'm saying that was playing significant minutes.
Okay.
I look at their roster, there's not many other guys that are doing too much more than that. But I think that the series, obviously, I would ask where did the series change. Obviously, it shifted with Ja Morant got down. It doesn't take.
I mean, to chime in on that, actually, when Ja Morant went down, that brought out the beast. Because as you can see, they blew him out the park.
They put him back against the wall.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, really, it's just of course, Ja Morant being there is the full package. But you know what I'm saying? That just shows you right there that next season, people going to have to deal with that type of team. They're going to have to deal with Ja Morant and that Grizzly team, even if Ja Morant not playing. So imagine what people going to deal with. You know what I'm saying?
And vice versa. The NBA, they're going to be ready for him. So
exactly, but
take their game to the next
see
level.
What he was doing with the defending champs. He was averaging the most out that whole series, and he was hurt half of that motherfucker. And he still averaged, as far as, you know what I'm saying, point-wise and every assist.
John Morant did it, right?
Yeah, John Morant. See what I'm saying? So he's showing you he's a dog and he ain't falling under pressure. He just got hurt. That's all that was. He would have broke more records or probably went for 50. He would have went for 50.
He had 47 Game 2.
He would have went for 50 because he would have known he would have had to go harder to win, because Golden State going to keep on coming. They got championship DNA.
And he had 34 in Game 3 in the loss. I think that's the one he got hurt. Listen, Ja Morant, the one thing about Ja Morant that blows my mind is that someone at that size, when I say size, obviously the height is, but that frame to finish through traffic consistently, looking for contact consistently,
big time.
Is very rare to see someone with that slight of build be able to, consistently finish like that. And again, Desmond Bain had a big series. Jaren Jackson Jr. showed that he was worthy of, I don't know if you're going to say worthy of getting drafted over
that last game. Dillon Brooks showed, showed up, but Dillon Brooks coming off of that suspension, he was getting booed and everything, so you kind of can understand that. Plus, it's just coming off those emotions, like, you know what I'm saying, coming to
Absolutely.
All right, so you remember what your prediction was on the series? I think I said 5.
I was saying I wouldn't say 6, not to be disrespectful to the young kids. I didn't want to say that their season was just, they were just a regular season team. I thought they brought more to the party than just, flash in the pan. That's, just some of the phrases that we uttered when we talked about it in the first time. So I said 5. I thought maybe 5, but game 5 was the blowout. So I'm glad to be wrong that it did go 6. And I think you as well did 5 or 6.
5 or 6. Yeah, I don't really think I put a number on it, but I'm going to take credit.
Yeah.
I finished in 6. I had Golden State in 6, and they got the job.
So you talking about coming in the season or
Yeah.
after they was already
Nah,
going to the
What we did was before the second round started, we gave our predictions.
So basically, but going into the series, what did you think? How did you think it was gonna go? Yeah.
Off top, like not to discredit Ja Morant and the Grizzlies, but come on, man, that's Golden State.
Nah,
And look what the they did, cause they really. I don't think no other team was gonna be able to do that, but Golden State. You know what I'm saying?
The way they did it for sure.
Yeah,
The
they
way they broke them down for
so
sure.
like, no, I ain't taking no credit from the Grizzlies, but man, come on, you got the Splash Bros over there, got Draymond Green, got the Death Squad still over there. But I ain't gonna lie, after I was seeing how Ja Morant was playing, like, which I knew he could, it was 50-50 then. Even after Golden State was like finna eliminate them after they was already up 3 games. Like, it was still 50-50 at that time, but like Golden State just know how to close out them games. That's the only reason why they won game
Pedigree. That's what it comes down to sometimes.
Exactly.
Okay. We might as well. We still got the clip for the Heat. I know you said you had a couple stats from the Heat and Harden. You want to talk about Maxey. Let you dive right into those stats.
All right, so a couple stats that stood out to me in the Miami versus the Sixers series. Harden, 18 points a game, 6 rebounds, 7 assists on 40% shooting.
Under 20, under a dub.
Yeah, that's tough, man. Something's going on with James Harden.
Elimination game at that.
And Maxey actually averaged more points than him in this series. Averaged 20 points, and he shot a better percentage from the field. He shot 45%. We saw them a couple clips during the series.
Yeah, they get into it on the
getting
bench.
chippy on the bench.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's your take on that?
Well, when I see that, the first thing I think of is a young guy either one looking at Harden like, "Hey man, I'm expecting you to be doing more than this. Like, I'm supposed to be following you." You know what I mean? I think there's a little bit of that. I think there's a little bit of just flat out, "Hey bro, you ain't playing defense, you ain't shooting, you basically just passing and putting it on me." Like, you know what I mean? We brought you here to be the man, and now you trying to follow behind me. That's,
I mean, this is my take on this. Much respect to James Harden and everything. Like, everybody know he's a great regular season player and all that, but you know what I'm saying? Everybody know what he do in the playoffs. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't even got to talk about it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you know who that is, and that's James Harden. That's the MVP. James Harden could have had the MVP 3 straight years, really.
He was
arguably.
He finished two. He finished those 2
So
years.
you gotta show your respect. And another thing is, I f with Maxey for having that type of attitude, because he won that show. He wanted to win. But while y'all in battle, you ain't supposed to fight with your teammates.
I'm with you 100%.
You know what I'm saying? Regardless, after y'all handle business
in the locker room,
you know what I'm saying. Figure it out. Then y'all try to fix it, come up with a solution. You know what I'm saying? So that's what So you know what I'm saying. So as far as Maxey being
supposed to be team first. I feel
you know what I'm saying. So I feel him. I feel him. You know what I'm saying. He's aggravated. He, you know what I'm saying. Like, never been in the playoff heavy.
Nah,
first time in the playoff. First time in the playoff.
Well, no, they was in the playoffs last year. We tripping.
Yeah, what I'm saying. Yeah. So
but the first time,
that's a focal point of the team.
Yeah. Last year he was along for the ride. This year they were asking him to do something.
I think Maxey's a little upset, man. I feel like he think Harden's in his way. You know what I'm saying? I think he took big steps when Ben was gone.
That's an interesting one.
Well, I don't mean to cut you off, but see, that's where he's wrong at to think he's in your way. Because like, y'all supposed to be trying to win, not just because it's you. Look at what you just said, because he's in my way. That means that you in the way of the team, that you're in the way of the team, because it has to be like, you know what I'm saying? So that was my whole point about me saying that Maxey
it's not team first. It's not a team first argument.
Team first. This is a team sport. You know what I'm saying?
But see, the thing is, the only to couple that point, it just like we don't know what they talk about in practice, and you know what I'm saying. So like, who to say in practice? Harden not saying, "Oh yeah, Rod, like I'm leading," like, you know what I mean, like talking the talk, and then in the game you switching it up. So again, I feel you 100% with the. I don't like fighting in front of the world. I don't want the world to know. I don't want the world. I don't want the world to know that we're arguing. So I feel you on that.
Putting that energy on the bench, like we need to be having that energy on the court, and you know what I'm saying, giving it to the opposition. Like you know what I'm saying. So that's how I feel that the great team. That's how I feel Stephen Curry. You know what I'm saying. Stephen Curry and the Warriors championship teams like that. Even Boston. You know what I'm saying. Boston. Even the team they beat. Like they have that type of attitude. They have that type of pedigree.
Team first.
Team first. Pedigree, and you know what I'm saying. That's what they like. I think Philadelphia have a long way, like to figure things out. Yeah. Not from talent wise, but just
the team oriented. What direction they're going. Let me ask you this:
exactly.
What would you do if you were the 76ers with James Harden contract situation? Do you want him to opt in, or do you want him to opt out and you rework along a 4-year, 160?
I think you gotta rework something. I think you gotta opt out and rework something.
See, I think they made their bed when you make the trade with Ben Simmons. Because again, whether or not Ben Simmons ever plays another second on the court, he was a 25-year-old controllable asset. So, and you gave him 2 first-round draft picks with him as well. So, and Steph Curry just to throw it in for good measure. So, with that being said, you have to invest in Harden again. Because you can't just let him walk and lose Ben Simmons and him for nothing. And the only difference was money. Yeah, I think they need a different coach though. And that's, I don't know. Well, I don't know. I can't just blame on Doc Rivers. Maybe that's just me taking a shameless shot at Doc Rivers.
I don't think it's a coach. I don't think it's a coach, but because like that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, health is a big factor too. Because Embiid, as we talked about, he couldn't play till game 3, and then those first 2 games definitely were different than the 4 they lost.
Yeah, he ended up averaging 19 and 9,
and that's with
20 and 10,
and that's with a broken eye and a messed up hand,
orbital bone,
and a messed up hand.
I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. James Harden, like I said in the playoff, he's notoriously known to be a no-show. And I'm, you know what I'm saying, like I'm behind James Harden, like, you know what I'm saying, like I know what he could do, and that's why, you know what I'm saying, he's being so criticized, because we know what you could do.
Exactly. That's
and you don't do it.
Yeah, for
like,
sure,
you know
for
what I'm
sure.
saying, then you know what I'm saying, so that's why I see why Maxie was frustrated, but you still, since you know this, you put that on your shoulder and you go hard and you thrive. Look what John Morant did.
Listen
like he inspired his team, really.
Listen to this. James Harden, the last 3 playoff series.
John Morant wouldn't do that.
Last 3 playoff series for James Harden. Lost in 6 games to the Heat in the second round. Last year with the Nets, lost in 7 games to the Bucks, and then the year before with the Rockets, lost in 5 games to the Lakers.
If you remember last year,
and prior to that, lost in 6 games to the Warriors, and prior to that, lost 7 games to the Warriors.
Man,
if you remember last year in the playoffs, I was saying Harden, he didn't look the same.
He was hurt though. If we give him,
he had to be, because they could have won if he would have just played a bit better. Because look,
I think he was hurt. He was hurt last year.
If you look at it, the style of play, the same production as right now. If you ask me, he looks like the same. I think he's overweight. I think he just got to get in better shape. Hopefully, he get in better shape.
He could come back for sure. That's James Harden. He's great. He showed you doing it. Look, when he played in Houston, he was so dedicated. You would see they would go to them games, and especially in the playoffs. Like after the game, right after the game, they in the gym and they shooting out him, Eric Gordon, just the whole squad. They, you know what I'm saying? That's why they had that winning mentality. But the only thing, like we always say, James Harden never show up in the playoffs.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's well documented, man.
Yeah.
Well, let's go through his last. His stats for the 6 games. Game 1, he had 16 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Game 2, he had 24 and 9. Game 3, he had 17, 8 and 6. Game 4 was his breakthrough game, 31, 7 and 9.
That was when people tell. That's when
the
people
whole
tell.
time
That
over.
was people. Oh, that's when he broke the streak of 13 straight games, 13 straight playoff games with under 25.
Yeah, and then he finished off the series 14-6-4, and his game
14
6.
points back on the wall.
11-4-9.
Only took 2 shots in the second half. Didn't make either.
Game 6, man.
That's embarrassing to know. Like, I just wonder how the brother feel to have those type of stats, knowing what you're capable of doing on that court.
Nah, it's just
What's your thoughts on Miami?
Miami, man, they look tough. Like I said, if Jimmy Butler's continue to be offensive threat, if Bam Adebayo, like I said, they have Bam Adebayo, they got the PJ Tucker, they have a dog, another defender. Kyle Lowry is hurt, but I'll say my predictions versus Celtics, but just in general, just how I felt during that series, seeing Jimmy Butler, I feel like he's starting to take that next step, and he wants to show that he's a championship player. Like, he's already shown he's a winner, like we alluded to it last episode, just of his accolades as far as team building. But like I said, if they can consistently score in the 105s, 110s, they're gonna be tough to beat because their defense, the Heat. If they can score in the 105s, 110s, because they're gonna score you, they're gonna hold it till you're gonna be hovering right around 100.
That's the thing, though, right? You see, like the Heat, like you had brought up Jimmy Butler. That's their primary scorer. They only got really 2 primary scorers: Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero.
I knew it. Listen,
Jimmy Butler, Tyler.
How you feel about, like, when you were watching the Heat versus the 76ers? Like, what were your overall thoughts? Like,
on Miami,
were they just so much? Was the team even and they just played? They just got them because Embiid was hurt, or would you say, no matter what, Embiid healthy, they would have beat him either way? Like,
I mean, I think if Embiid, because Embiid really was playing hurt too, even after he came back.
100%,
like,
for sure.
I salute Embiid, and I salute how he handled it after the fact they lost in the press conference and everything.
He took a couple shots.
Because he was but still though, prior to this, how he used to handle himself.
For sure,
you know what I'm saying. So
for sure.
So I salute to him for that. But you know what I'm saying, like yes. Definitely, if he was 100% healthy, they would go into Game 7 for sure, and possibly could have beat them. Like, really, they were supposed to beat them. Really, to beat 100, you could have picked 76ers over the Heat.
Well, wait,
paper. Not even just in paper, because Embiid was balling.
Well, no, that's the thing. Well, that's the thing. There's no one on the Heat that can hold Embiid.
Exactly.
There's no one on the Heat that can hold Embiid. So I agree with you. I agree with you.
Like, if he was all the way dominant, and that was gonna turn James Harden up. That was gonna turn everybody up.
I was just about to make that point.
That's why he said he liked playing with James Harden when James Harden first went there.
Yeah. Because it's the domino effect. It's whoever goes
so
first,
really
that lets the other one go.
Maxey, so you know what I'm saying. Remember, the Heat don't have too many primary scorers. They're just like a
good team
unit. You know what I'm saying. So they
run. But see, again,
like they said,
they're deep though. They're deep though.
They got so many guys that anybody can step up. You feel
exactly.
What I'm
exactly.
Like,
that's what they said. They're deep.
Talking about, you know what I'm saying. If Embiid is 100% healthy and James Harden just doing him, even if it's give me 25 points, 27 or like a 22 and 15 assists and 12 rebounds. You know what I'm saying? Type, like, you know what I'm saying? The Maxey do what he do and everybody else got Tobias Harris playing his role and everything. Like, come on, like, how they wasn't supposed to, like, you know what I'm saying?
No,
so it's like,
man, Tobias Harris supposed to be better.
They really got discombobulated, you know what I'm saying, after Embiid left. Like,
but Tobias Harris supposed to be better than the fact that at the top, again,
they got to do something with him.
Man, I mean, who's going to take that contract?
I'm trying to talk about people money and you know what I'm saying, like that, but hey, man, they got, like, you know what I'm saying, come on, you're not producing. It's
the same thing we talk about DeAndre Russell. Like, when you get that type of money, you expect to produce.
Put those numbers up, man.
So what before the series, what did you predict? Do you remember?
I had Miami in 5.
Yeah, and I remember I said I thought if Embiid came back in Game 2, it would go 6. He came back Game 3, it still went 6. So same thing.
Yeah, Miami. I mean, if they can keep it up, I like Jimmy Butler. My knock on him was always for him to just up his scoring and get to that next level. He averaged 27 this series, so we're gonna see if he can continue that offensive production. Against Boston, he shot 51 from the field. Played real good basketball.
That's impressive. Yeah. That's very impressive. Like,
Tyler Hill only averaged 14.
In the playoffs, to make it to the Eastern Conference?
Nah, for sure. So,
that's crucial. That's greatness.
So speaking of, because I know I'm not gonna lie, I'm eager to talk to get to predictions, but we got to get the last two. So the Celtics Bucks Game 7.
Your prediction before the series started.
I wanted to ride with the Bucks. I'll be honest with you. I wanted to ride with Bucks in 6, and I said even with the knowledge of Middleton, I sold the Celtics short. I'll be honest. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, but see, I'm gonna put this footage out too. Earlier, like before I even started doing these with you, I was talking about just the landscape of the NBA, and I was saying Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. That's where the NBA is going, and here we are.
Players, yeah.
Two 6'7", 6'8" wing players that can do it all, and then you just put a team around them, bro. When you get a guy, when you got 2 guys that can do their thing, a guy like Grant Williams can go 27 points, 7 to 18 from 3.
Got Al Horford ball.
Big Game 7. We can't skip over that Game 6 though. That Game 6 was huge.
It was, but to go back to Grant Williams, those 18 3-pointers attempted was a Game 7 NBA record. The now second is Steph Curry with 15. Think about that. Grant Williams. Now I don't blame him because that's kind of how the Bucks play. You know, they give up the most threes in the NBA. And then with Brook Lopez, you're just playing the drop coverage. I mean, you're just playing that coverage. Basically, kind of like how they did Rudy with the Mavericks. You know, it's a similar thing and similar situation.
Yeah, Giannis broke records in that series as well. For a Game 7, scored the most. For that series, for a Game 7 series, scored the most, over 200 points, 100 rebounds, and I'm not sure.
Was it 50? I think it was 50 assists?
Yeah, 50 assists. Nobody ever done that.
Nah,
Nobody ever done that. That man, just imagine Middleton was there.
See, I think that was the difference.
Big Game 6, 44 points, 20 rebounds, 2 for 3 from 3-point strike.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think, like I said it before. I think
big
Giannis.
Time player, Giannis, man. Like we were discussing the other day, man. Not really a fan, but it's kind of hard not to cheer for him. Do everything the right way, you know what I'm saying, and you give it hard every possession.
Man, that man coming to work in some black Air Force Ones, and some gray sweats.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. It's some gray sweats.
For sure.
He's coming to work like so. Like everybody know, you know what I'm saying. Like
I'm coming to work. This is Giannis in the playoffs. He had a 32, 14, and 7 game. He had a 29, 13, and 6 game versus the Bulls. A 34, 15, and 7 game versus the Celtics. Just like you said, the first ever 200 points, 100 rebounds, 50 assist series. 4th ever 40, 20, and 5 playoff game. He was in first in points, first in rebounds, 4th in assists, 3rd in blocks, and 6 wins without Middleton. I don't know what else we can say about Giannis, man. He's really, like I said,
he's the best player on the planet right now.
And I don't think it's close.
Huh?
Well, I mean, somebody
he separated himself. He in his own league, like, because who could do what he do?
Percentage, right? 100%.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
efficiency for 100%. And I think he doesn't get enough credit for his handles. I don't think he gets enough credit for his handles. They say he just runs a jump. They ask him to get the ball at the top of the key. Whenever you see the guy at his size get asked to get the ball at the top of the key and create his own shot, like that's insane. But in the Bucks, in the Game 7, they went 4 of 33 for 12% in Game 7. Second worst 3-point percentage ever in Game 7.
That's tough. My prediction before the series had the Celtics in 6. They got it done in 7. But man, Boston, man, I predict them to win the series for what they did against Brooklyn, man. I think what they did against Brooklyn was real big, and it kind of opened my eyes to what they had going on over there in Boston, man. I'm real high on Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Yeah,
I kind of really confessed that I kind of wanted them to win the series against Brooklyn because I kind of thought if they would have lost, they would have broke them up, or they would have been on the verge of breaking them up.
Yeah,
so
that's a good. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan, but I took it on the chin for the greater good. You know what I'm saying. I ain't a Boston fan, but I'm feeling Tatum and Brown.
Other sport for sure.
Other sport, of course, but
see, coming into the series, I thought just like how he said how Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and all them did Kevin Durant and them. Like, you know what I'm saying? I gave the Bucks one game. And if you look at it, they really won those 2 games that they won, those 2 extra games, that was lucky. You know what I'm saying? one of those games they missed a ton of free throws. You know what I'm saying? To where if they would just made half of those, they would have won like by 5. They only lost by 3 points. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was looking at that. So then just coming into the series, I thought they was going to do way better than that. But they really did good. It was just Giannis balling the out.
Yeah,
Look what he was doing. Like,
nah,
look,
he was going crazy.
He broke records.
And he really didn't really have much. I mean, Drew Holiday
and really still wasn't supposed to win.
In the win. Great. You know who let me down? Grayson Allen. I thought this was a chance for Grayson Allen to, like, you know, shut up a lot of haters. Yeah. Because, you know, he got a bad rap. Justifiably so. But
dirty player.
I thought there was a chance that he was going to come out and, you know what I mean, put his name on the map in a good way. Because, you know, that's where playoffs is where you make your name. Went to Duke. He had, you know, Mike Krzyzewski calling plays for him. I thought Grayson Allen was going to bring more to the party. He definitely did not. So, but we definitely got to give Devin Pritchard, what's his first name? Braxton Pritchard? Braden Pritchard, this guy. I was shocked. Every time.
The one that's from Boston?
Yeah, on the Celtics. Yeah, he came out, he was shooting the ball. Al Horford continues to find the youth. I need to find his trainer. Because
did you see how he posted the Greek Freak? Did you see that? Like, wow, man. Like,
possessions later, Giannis came back.
Like, I don't know.
Nah, I think Giannis was first.
I don't know if he
it was Horford first.
Hey, man, but they might give him a test. You know what I'm saying?
We might need to see what that urine's about. We might want to see what that urine's about. See them levels. We might need to see them levels. I might need to see them levels. No disrespect, but yeah, hey, listen. Yeah, because in OKC, people left him for dead.
Yeah, I had Caruso.
He was left for dead.
Tatum had a big game. Game 6, 46 points, 17 for 32 shooting, 7 for 15 from the 3. Huge game 6 when they were on the ropes, down 3-2.
Back against the wall. That's always an impressive
player, man.
Man, speaking of the game 6, the game 7 was just as impressive. With he only had a 23 in that game. Oh, I thought he had more. Never mind. Nah, you can edit that part out.
That was the game they lost?
Nah, the last game he only had 23. I thought he had more, but he was in foul trouble, and I do like the way he ended the game. He still ended the game with a lot of ferocity. So, well, yeah, I guess we left the best for last. The Dallas Mavericks versus the Suns.
About to get spicy, guys.
So let's first starter. Let's get this out the way. We both wanted to say. My heart wanted to say the Mavericks, but I just couldn't imagine Chris Paul and the Suns folding to what again I believe was their best chance to win a ring. Last year I thought it didn't get any better. This year, it seemed even easier because there's really no one, specifically because after the game, you know, Embiid's already out. Things like that. Like, you don't really have anybody to hold Aiden, presume like you believe. You know, you think you have enough players, enough depth at this point to take it over top. You won 64 wins. That's no small feat. But, man, Luka Magic, man, is real. We said it. Like I said, we were saying that's the only thing that could just sway the series is Luka Magic.
Luka Magic, yeah. So,
but we both said Suns in 7, correct?
Suns in 7. We both said Suns in 7 out of respect for Phoenix.
Yeah,
Luka this series, man, amazing. 32 points per game. 9.9 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals a game.
That's crazy.
On 47% shooting.
And that's what all the difficult shots he's taking too. Think about it. He's shooting 47%.
That's the best in the playoffs, huh?
It's got to be
outside Ja Morant. Actually, Ja Morant.
I'm sure there's a big man out there we're not thinking of. I'm sure Aiden's field goal percentage is probably better, but we're talking about the difficulty of shots that Luka Doncic is taking off the dribble, the spin arounds,
come on from 3,
showing
behind the arc.
The craziest thing is like I said, when we talk about the Giannis being by far the best player, sometimes I gotta say not so fast because Luka Doncic, what I was seeing, man, it's hard to say. I mean, again, I still pick Giannis if I'm building a team from scratch. With the age, I don't know. But right now playing, Giannis was still playing at a slightly higher clip. But Luka Doncic, that the efficiency he's playing with, the leadership, the way after the series changed when Devin Booker stole the ball from Luka, started talking reckless, and then they lose and he says everybody's talking tough when they're up, and then he comes back and he buries them like that. Did he play 1 second in the fourth? I don't think he played a second in the fourth.
I mean, if you ask me,
no, in the game 7.
I wasn't surprised and coming into this series. I'm not trying to be biased. I am from Texas. I'm from Houston. You know what I'm saying? That's a Texas team. You know what I'm saying? But just me knowing the fabric of that organization and Jason Kidd being their coach.
Yeah, big time, Jason.
And of course, Luka Magic. Of course, y'all can't forget Luka Magic. Of course, we have Luka Magic. So how can I ignore that? You know what I'm saying? So out of that respect, I came in the series going with the Mavericks, even though I like the Suns, and I would rather see them like y'all was saying because that's really like their last chance to go. You know what I'm saying? So I would rather see them. I knew Luka was going to do that. Like, look what he did out
the Jazz.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? And Donovan Mitchell is one of the greatest players right now, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as far as a new generation, see what I'm saying? That he had playoff history, like, you know
up next, for sure.
Yeah, so, like, I wasn't surprised. You know what I'm saying?
Due to Luka's elite play is the reason why we said 7 games before the series.
Yeah, for sure.
Even after Phoenix was up 2-0. See one of the last episodes, maybe 2 episodes.
Speaking of 2-0, Chris Paul is already the first player ever to blow 4 2-0 leads in the best of 7 series. And now he's obviously the first to do 5. The 4 before were up 2-0 versus the Spurs in 2008, up 2-0 versus the Grizzlies in 2013, up 2-0 versus the Blazers in 2016, and then up 2-0 in the finals versus the Bucks in 2021.
0-4 in his last game 7s.
Man. And ironically, Blake Griffin is second on the list with 3.
Because he was playing.
No. They're teammates. Teammates like
playing points this series. With the Nets and going through the same.
What was his numbers this series?
13 points, 4 rebounds, 5.7 assists.
Yeah, that's
not the typical Chris Paul.
Not in the playoffs.
Man, listen, since Chris Paul turned 37, he had 12 points, 7 turnovers, 5 points fouled out, 7 points on 3 of 8 shooting, 13 points off 5 turnovers in the last game, 10 points, and he was a negative 39 in the game 7. Shout out to the scorer at that score.
The age catching up with him quick.
Yeah, that's
what it's looking like. As soon as he turned 37, what, 8 days ago?
Yeah.
Last week or something like that.
Yeah, it's. I'll be honest with you. I didn't see Devin Booker
didn't have a great game 7 either. 11 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah, we got to talk about that.
In the first
5 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists.
Say it again one more time. I'm sorry.
Ayton, 5 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists.
In 17 minutes. And now what's troubling about that is in the clips and when we were going into the series, I was feeling like there was no one that could hold Ayton. And in the first 2 games, he was showing some of that. And then out of nowhere, he just fell off a cliff. I don't know if it was usage. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I'm kind of torn because it's like I feel like a player that wants a max contract, you got to be able to supersede what's going on in the game and get the ball and take shots. Like you can't just fall by the wayside and it's just okay to just, you know what I'm saying, be just have it just all willy-nilly. Like you got to be able to show your dominance because you want the max. I understand you're looking at guys like D'Angelo Russell and all the other guys we talk about having bad games still. I'm at Tobias Harris with max contracts, but yeah, DeAndre Ayton is going to be tough because the rest of the West is going to keep getting better. So, I mean, Chris Paul ain't getting no younger.
Yeah.
Got Jamal Murray coming back.
And that's really that and Michael Porter Jr.
Don't have to worry about New Orleans.
Like, Zion coming back.
Did in the playoffs.
Without Zion.
He wasn't even there, so don't forget about Brandon Ingram.
Man, listen. You can't forget. I still can't believe Brandon Ingram was under 25, but It's another story for another day. So now we're to the predictions.
Alright, yeah, we can do the predictions.
Not to the predictions. Okay. So, ironically, let's start with the Miami Heat. Boston Celtics. Last time the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat met, that was Miami Heat won in 6 games. The infamous Bam Adebayo and Jason Tatum block. Was that the win? Game 1?
Game 1.
Yeah, that was the win.
Going into the finals.
Yeah, that was the win. Game 1. So that was
Again, they rematch. Rematch time.
And so that would be the Boston Celtics getting a lottery rematch. Wait, I'm sorry. To go back before we can go any further. Frank Ntilikina in the Mavericks series. So going into Game 7, when Frank Ntilikina held Chris Paul or Devin Booker, they were 3 of 40 shooting. And people told me Frank Ntilikina was an NBA player. People told me this guy couldn't be in the league. He's not a star. Was he a bust? I'll let you be the judge of that. But
what was your thoughts on Luka closing out on the Mavs and Suns series?
I mean, looking at how Luka been playing, like I said, really this whole playoffs, you know what I'm saying, playing the Jazz and then, you know what I'm saying, coming in, you know what I'm saying, getting those wins, those 2 wins, and it was really because of him. You know what I'm saying? Like the Mavs don't play good on the road, but they play good at home. But that last game they had to play good on the road, like Luka did what he did, you know what I'm saying, and like the team followed behind him. You know what I'm saying? So I expected that. You know what I'm saying? Like from that press conference with Devin Booker saying, yeah, you know what I'm saying, like I ain't never been to Game 7, but you know what I'm saying, this is fun. I knew it was over then. I knew it was over then because
sometimes
you know you finna go up against Luka in the Game 7, all this pressure against you. I knew it was over. Like and Luka was finna go, just like how y'all was saying how he was playing out there with that attitude and that swag, and you know what I'm saying. Like that's how he was coming. Like you know what I'm saying. He's a dog.
And I'm happy you brought that back. Since Devin Booker, he laid out on the floor and over-exaggerated a foul. Devin Booker scored. He said the Luka special, right? So since that moment, Devin Booker scored 30 points and Luka Doncic scored 68.
I remember you started that argument on accident.
Yeah, Devin Booker versus Luka.
He's showing.
You were right.
Like he's showing the separation. Like he's showing the separation. Like you know what I'm saying. I think Luka. This is me saying this. Retro, the CEO. Y'all make sure y'all quote this. Retro, the CEO said this. That Luka, as of now, like is better than LeBron James.
Like today, I mean, yeah.
Like today, he's better than LeBron James right now. So if he's better than LeBron James, like Booker is not on that level yet, but he's a great player.
See, but again, when you have
Booker,
when you have a Game 7 like that, you got to be on notice. You're on notice.
And we know that Luka have it in him since when he first came in the league. Because remember, he came from a league overseas and he was playing with grown men already, and he was beating. Like he was winning
at
these
16,
awards.
15,
he was already doing that. You know what I'm saying? So he already had that dog in him. He's a veteran.
Nah, he knows what it's like to be leaned on as the man.
Plus coming to the NBA and getting better, learning step back. Remember, he ain't learned that step back till James Harden started doing it in Houston. Then,
nah,
you know
for sure.
If you go back to his first season and everything before James Harden made the step back popular, you know what I'm saying, to where everybody's learning it. Like he wasn't doing that move. You know what I'm saying? Now you will see him doing it. He perfected his own little style of it, which I like his better because you can't stop it.
So now it's prediction time for the conference finals.
Yeah, he won. I give the Celtics some love. So it's an insane stat shared by Mike Breen. The Celtics will now play in their 37th Eastern Conference Finals. They've played in exactly half of all Eastern Conference Finals ever. Dang, that's pretty insane. All right, that's enough love.
That's a great organization.
No, for sure. And I give Tatum some love. He averaging 28.3, 5.6, 6.1 assists per game. He's on pace for the first Celtic ever to average 28, 5, and 5 in a single playoff run. Yeah, so Jason Tatum.
Numbers.
All right, so Celtics versus Heat. You know what? We'll give my man Retro, the CEO. We'll give you the honors. Go ahead. What you got? First one.
All right. You know what I'm saying? Coming into this, I know, you know what I'm saying, Jason Tatum, I think he's real focused right now. Like he's real focused, as well as not even just him, just Boston. Period. They're focused. You know what I'm saying? At the goal at hand, like you know what I'm saying, like it's championship or bust with them. You know what I'm saying? And you can see it from the coaching staff, from the personnel, to everybody on the court, from the role players to the bench players. Like just look how Marcus Smart playing. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
and excluding those 3 plays.
Like look how Al Horford is playing. Like everybody, they understand the assignment. You know what I'm saying? Sure. The assignment is to go in there and kill, and they come out in games early in games with urgency. They play with urgency. I think they play like they down, like even if they up, and like you know what I'm saying. So coming into that series, that's why it's hard for me to. Just out of respect, I'm gonna give Miami 2 games.
Ooh, okay.
Game 6, but it could be over in 5. Gentleman's sweep. It could be over in 5.
Hey, listen, that's spicy. I like it.
It could be over in 5. So you don't think so?
Nah, I'm listening. I'm listening.
Because really, all honesty, the Bucks is better than Miami.
Well, with no middle,
without Middleton, they're better than Miami. They got better defense.
But no Middleton, that's tough. With no Middleton, that's tough.
They got number 2 defense in the league.
You talking about the Heat or the
Bucks?
Yeah. Nah, I agree.
They're number 2 defense in the league. Plus, they got Giannis going off like that. Like, who's gonna stop Giannis over there? Don't you know what I'm saying?
I mean, no one can.
No
one can stop Giannis.
It's like young and physical and kind of big. Oh, they got Adebayo. You know what I'm saying? If they got him,
they would have tried to put Bam on Giannis.
You know what I'm saying? But like,
and let him bang with him.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying. I think that Boston, like you know what I'm saying, does a gentleman's sweep. But I'm gonna give.
So you're
Miami
saying
one, you know what I'm saying? One extra game,
so you're saying gentleman. Your heart say gentleman sweep, but out of respect, you gonna say 6 games. I respect it. DankFather.
Got Boston in 6.
Playing it safe. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
what's your reason? Give me a reason.
Playing it safe.
How you think they're gonna attack? I
think it's Boston time right now. They just dethroned the champions. I think they on the high right now. Playing great basketball.
He just said it. Like, it's gonna be hard to beat Boston.
I think they're taking the next step, man. Tatum taking the next step. Brown is there to complement 1 and 1A. Horford coming in. He's like the second, third option.
Yeah.
They got quality players like Derek White.
Sneaky ad that he was a sneaky addition.
Yeah,
he was a sneaky addition.
Makes good plays, solid passes.
Can't forget Marcus Smart, man. Can't forget.
Marcus Smart been playing great.
It's like Draymond Green.
In a way, in a way.
Guard form,
for sure.
That's like, you know what I'm saying?
Guard form, that's a fact.
For sure.
He definitely made up for those 3 knucklehead plays at the end of Game 5 in the Milwaukee.
Coming with leadership too, like I said, he brings the tangibles. He brings things that don't come into the box score for sure. So you get.
Let's just see, man. Like Miami, they're tough defensively.
Yeah.
Still got my question marks offensively for the Heat. But they got dogs, man. They got dogs. Butler, Bam, PJ Tucker's on the roster. You know, they got different pieces as well, but I think Boston, I think they got the best player on the floor.
Jason Tatum.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Then in a secondary score, and Jaylen Brown could go head to head with
Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think it's that far. The gap is that far neither. Like I said, man, 2 elite wings. I think they're coming into their own. I got Boston in 6, man.
All right, so it's down to me. So for the record, like I said in the past, these are 2 teams I despise. I hate both of them. So really, it's really either one who wins. I'm gonna be mad because I hate both. So I'm gonna go with Boston in 7. I do think. Like I said, there's a little bit
that's
too
unique right there. You know what I'm saying? But that's believable.
Yeah, because it's
could sell that.
Because I think like you said, it's a little bit of their time. And similarly to the way last year the Bucks, kept, having the best record in the league. They kept, inching closer, and then finally lost. The Celtics, they lost, like I said, in the bubble to the Heat. They went to the finals. They ended up losing to the Bucks. I wouldn't say they won the not when they won the championship, but things like that. They've been inching closer.
Couple conference finals.
Yeah.
With that.
Even dating back all the way to Jason Tatum as a rookie.
Yeah,
Going to the, you know what I mean? So the fact that they've been going so close, they've been inching closer, and they do have.
They had Terry Rozier.
Terry Rozier. Nah, I got you.
Rearranging and stuff.
But yeah, like you said, when you have the two dogs in the Jason Tatum and the Jaylen Brown, and then you say you have the stabilizer and Al Horford, the Marcus Smart, who's, like you said, playing the Draymond Green role, who's giving you defense every now and then, giving you 20, getting those extra possessions, those little cheap 50-50 balls, that sways games. And like you said, it's the Heat scoring. That's where I'm not sure if they're gonna, because the Boston Celtics can play good defense as well. And then we haven't even mentioned Robert Williams, who is probably going to be able to play since he was sat out those last 3 games. So they're going to be able to match size. But he did just flash on the screen. X factor is Victor Oladipo. If Victor Oladipo can average 17 to 21 points, the Miami Heat might be working with something.
But guess what? Al Horford's gonna average more than that. Or he you know what I'm saying?
We're gonna see because the reason why I went straight to Victor Oladipo is because Jimmy Butler, we're expecting him to continue the play he's had.
Can they do it against his defense though? Can he do this against his defense?
The Celtics, he's going. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to start off with Jaylen Brown on him, either Jaylen Brown or Marcus Smart.
It's going to be tough.
Probably. I wonder which one they're going to throw on him.
People got to pay attention to how they played through adversity, and they was down. They were facing elimination. They won those 2 games. Like for play. They went in there. They didn't panic. Even they was down sometimes. Yes, they did blow a 14-point lead that game they lost, but that was the game that.
Yeah.
The Bucks really got lucky. You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be interesting because the Miami Heat, they have some names that you're like, man, like the Strus guy.
Yes, of course. They got
and then the Vincent guy, like playing big minutes for him. So it's gonna be interesting. Like I said, if Victor Oladipo can come off the bench and still give him like a 20, but I'm still gonna go Boston Celtics in 7.
Yeah, and it's like if Boston do what they're supposed to do, it's no way Miami could beat them. If Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown do what they're supposed to do,
you switching or you switching up or you saying? Did you say Heat?
Nah, I said Boston.
So we all said. Oh yeah. No, you said Favres. My bad. Gentleman sweeper 6. No, my bad. All right, well, we got all Celtics. As you can see, we didn't plan this in. It's all authentic. We ain't cheating the people. So we all picked the Celtics. It is what it is.
I like Miami. They're a good team as a unit. Able to get to their level consistently too, because they was, been to the finals and they've been to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
A couple times. So I like that team. I respect them. But man, come on, man.
I got Tatum winning the first ever Larry Bird Eastern Conference Finals.
That's man. That's just topic for another day. Suns. Okay, so Suns.
Mavericks.
Listen.
Versus the Warriors.
Warriors. And we didn't mention Luka Doncic had this tie for the same amount of points of the Heat as the Suns through halftime. That's crazy.
Yeah.
20. That's like a high school basketball game. They really made the Memphis people gonna forget about the Grizzlies win. That loss was so bad. But anyway, that's yesterday's news.
Yep.
I'm going Mavs, man. I'm going Mavs in 7 because I think Luka Magic coupled with the fact that they can't take advantage of the disadvantage that the Mavericks present, which is inside. I don't really understand why the Suns didn't use Aiden more. I don't know why they didn't game plan to focus to use Aiden more on Dwight Powell. But on the Warriors, there's nobody they're gonna, you know what I'm saying, score inside. Kevin Looney, you know, he might get rebounds, he might affect that in that way, but he's not gonna be scoring inside, so he's not gonna be able to take advantage of that. And basically, there's gonna be a shooting contest. But the difference is, I believe Luka's ability to get to the paint and the interior game. I think that's gonna be the difference between. Yeah, I think that's gonna because it's both gonna be a shooting contest. And again, granted, I know I'm saying I think the Mavericks are gonna outshoot the Warriors. I know that sounds crazy in a sense, but I think the equalizer will be Luka Doncic. Yeah.
All right, so man, shout out to Luka Doncic, man. That Luka magic is real. You know what I'm saying? Like he done displayed it to us. You know what I'm saying? All over the world, everybody know what he's capable of doing on that basketball court. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna have to go with Golden State. I'm gonna have to go with the Warriors. The Warriors in 6. The Warriors in 6, and it could, like, you know, because I think this the thing. Jason Kidd is a great coach, but really going against a winning system like championship DNA. Plus, you got phenomenal, the best shooter in history. Yeah. With the second one. Arguably, with Draymond, man, come on, man. Yeah, like, for sure. It's gonna be too hard. So after they tweak their mistakes that they made, really in this Grizzly series, but really, arguably, they could be one of the better teams because no other team was gonna be able to beat Memphis like that. They, you know what I'm saying?
Again,
I don't think, you know what I'm saying?
But you gotta, I feel you in a sense, but in a lot of ways, you still gotta remember what's name was hurt. Like John Morant got hurt, so it's like we never really, like, you know what I mean? Like, so things could have went.
Yeah, so that's what I'm telling you, and they still made adjustments.
Well, I'm saying this
even in the game they made adjustments. That's the thing about the Warriors. Like, you could take off in the Lord.
Few teams don't do that fair.
What the hell? Like, bro, I've been experiencing this my whole life because, you know what I'm saying, I always was going against the Golden State Warriors because I'm a Houston Rockets fan. And you already know what comes next. I was always against, even with the Oklahoma City Thunder and just everybody. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not even a Golden State Warriors fan. I'm just keeping it 100. Like,
yeah, for sure. Like, speaking of what you see,
Luka's gonna have to be the greatest ever to beat Golden State Warriors. He's gonna have to be the greatest ever.
Before you answer, let me rebut it just a bit. So again, I agree with you in a lot of sense. Like I said, the shooting, you're going against the best shooters in the world. But you got to remember, the Suns were the number one offense in the NBA as well. And whenever you're trying to match, again, when you have the best player on the court, and no disrespect to Steph Curry, but we're not talking about whole legacy. We're just talking about today. Luka Doncic is better than Steph Curry. He's the best player on the court, playing the best at the best level, and he's the most of a mismatch. Because again, who are they gonna put Draymond Green on Luka Doncic?
They're gonna start with Wiggins.
Man,
see that's what I would probably try to do. I would probably try to start.
The Warriors can figure it out. The Warriors played against James. Man, do you know who the Warriors stopped?
But again,
they stopped so many great players.
But how much
not
of
even
it?
just Harden. But
I'm about to say
LeBron James, like plenty, like, you know what I'm saying. If they stop,
lie to situate. Listen, lie to situate. Kyrie Irving knee. I can raise you.
You know what I'm saying?
Kyrie
They hurt KD like plenty of times where they made him go over there. Like, come on, man.
Well, let's see. Before we get to the last razzle dazzle, let my man. Let my man give a prediction. I tried to give
Warriors versus the Mavs.
Since we both were against, I wanted to give him one last Mavs. You know what I'm saying? So we have both on his mind.
Luka's been playing phenomenal. I expect him to play phenomenal in this series. But I think Steve Kerr has a game plan to neutralize the Mavericks. I'm not sure what it is yet. I just have a feeling. But I'm going to go with the Warriors in this series. I'm going to say the Warriors in 5. Let's say the Warriors in 5.
Man, gentlemen, sweep. You know, right when you said that, you know, the first thing that came to my mind, Steve Kerr watched Jordan up close. So, you know, I mean, what if he tries to incorporate some things that, you know, stopped Jordan early in his career, seeing how Luka's early
That's what I feel, man.
So I didn't even really think
That's
about
what
that,
I
to
was
be
just
honest.
telling you about. Like Jason Kidd is a phenomenal coach, but
Yeah.
you have a Hall of Famer in a player
This is a guy
and a coach.
This is a guy
And a coach. See
guy.
what I'm saying? So this is a whole nother dynamic. They went to
Yeah.
5 straight finals and really could have arguably been more if they didn't get hurt. Steph Curry and even Klay Thompson and Steph Curry got hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like in that little time they missed the playoff and you know what I'm saying?
They had a couple injuries
Time
on the
they
way
lost to
too.
Memphis in the play-in and stuff like that. So
What were you gonna say? With the Steve Kerr? I mean,
Yeah, Steve Kerr, man. He come from that Phil Jackson tree. So you know it's more than meets the eye
yeah.
with that style of play, man. I think they're going keying on Luka on the defensive end.
Mm-hmm.
Try to make him work more on the defensive end.
scouting.
Set a bunch of screens. You know what I'm saying?
Make him
Just
work on defense.
Make him work on defense.
Oh yeah, because really, no matter what, unless that might be they might ask Luka to hold Draymond, so he's not asked to run around too much. But then again, they might still. But then again, they could just keep screening Draymond since he's the primary screener anyway. So it's a give or take
I gave
situation.
Mavericks respect, man. Last series, saying they'd go to 7 games against Phoenix, they pulled it off, but I really think this is where their season ends right here against the Warriors. I think the Warriors, they were my pick to come out of the West. We didn't put that on wax, but that's been my feeling for this whole season. Coming down to the season, seeing how they've been playing, but yeah, man, I think they just gonna throw a lot of schemes at the Mavericks. Like I said, make Luka work on the defensive end. Can the Mavericks keep up with them offensively once Golden State gets the ball rolling? It's going to be real interesting. But I'm expecting Luka to have a huge series, man. I don't see any drop-off, really, but I think they're going to have to really work in this series.
Before we switch the segment, I'm going to say this. If Luka and the Dallas Mavericks beat the Golden State Warriors, they wouldn't chip.
Yeah, no, that's the reason why
Whoever comes out the East, like either it's Boston or the Miami Heat, Dallas will beat them if they beat the Warriors. If they find a way to beat the Warriors,
then they cracked the code. But that's the same. I'll be honest with you. That's how I feel about the Suns, and that's the reason why I picked them. Because I feel like if they could crack the Suns' code, then with the confidence, because again, Spencer didn't really only had 2 good games.
Steph and Curry,
He averaged 11 that series.
Steph and Clay not gonna have the game that Booker and Chris Paul had. See what I'm saying? So that would never happen. That's not gonna happen. I mean, that happened.
We'll see, but look,
with the Grizzlies.
But the same way, I hear you. And at the same token, I'll say in the game last night with the 123-90 win with the Mavs, Finney-Smith only had 5, Bullock only had 5. Like, Kleber had 3, Bertans had 0. You know what I'm saying? So they can show they can still score. Brunson, he ended up how much did he average? 18 over the series.
Yeah, but
after having a 2 first.
On the road, they was playing bad for that last game. That game 7, that was one of their breakthrough games. You know what I'm saying?
Well, not Finney-Smith had a huge
who that
first round.
How you pronounce his name? Dunwoody?
Spencer Dinwiddie?
Yeah, Spencer Dunwoody.
That was his first good game in the playoffs.
Yeah, and he averaged over 30, scored over 30 points. You know what I'm saying? Him and Luka did what only Kobe and Shaq done. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like if they bring that every single road game, then you know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna be game 7, and Warriors still figure out the way to win, but. That's the only way they could have a fighting chance. If they bring that same energy to the road games as they brought to Game 7 to beat the Suns, they have a fight on a puncher's chance.
For sure. Okay. Like I said, first of many. The wrap up, we'll probably, since there's a couple of days in between games, probably come in check in after Game 2, give you a recap, check the temperature, see where everything's at. So again, if you want to catch my man,
DankFather on all social media platforms.
And first but never the last time, my man.
Yeah, man, catch me on Instagram at nh.icon. That's my IG. I'm on YouTube too, man. Y'all can follow my YouTube channel. I got like a lot of content coming out. So check me out, Rich Retro. So that's Rich Retro, you know what I'm saying? Tap in with me, RetroDaCeo, man.
Gotcha. And check out the podcast. You can catch on Spotify, Master Bruce CB, as well as Twitter, Master Bruce CB, and YouTube, Master Bruce CB, Instagram, just Master Bruce. Help us out. Don't hold us like you don't know us. Send it to a buddy. We appreciate you.